like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a hot minute. Adulting has just been something else, but we're happy that we're back and we're filming this video for you guys today. So we wanted to do a video for you guys, basically talking about the cost of living in Calgary.
For us specifically.
Yeah, so we're going to be personalizing it and I'm telling you guys what we spend on a monthly basis. How this is going to go is, I mean, you guys already know that my husband came in before me, so he's going to be talking about how much it cost him to live as a single guy, and then we'll do another take on, you know, what it costs us to live as a couple, as a family of 3. So he's going to go first.
Yeah, so like you guys already know, I moved in 2018. And then, so the first place I stayed, I wasn't paying rent because I was staying with a friend of mine. So the first rent I actually started paying was in a shared apartment because I was trying to save costs. So I moved into a 3-bedroom shared apartment. So mine was an ensuite bedroom there. Yeah. And then, so the rent there was basically, the cost of living there was basically rent. Bills were included, lucky enough. So this is also a tip for somebody that is moving in single. If you move into a shared apartment like that, there's a good chance that your bills will be covered, so you can save cost on that. Yeah. So it was basically just food, so grocery shopping, rent plus bills bundled together, and transport. Yeah. I didn't have a car then, of course, so I was using the bus pass. And I think back then the bus pass cost me about $110 per month. So that will cover both your buses and trains. So you can use that from buses and trains for the whole month for $110. And there's no limit to how many times you can use it in a day or in the whole month. So you're covered on that for the whole month, $110. Then rent for me was about $650, and this is for a room that I was sharing with. Well, I wasn't sharing the room. I had a room to myself. I was sharing the house with others. I was sharing the living area and the kitchen. Just $650 for that, and $110 for transportation, and then groceries. Yeah. So groceries vary, so of course depending on how much.
So wait before you go ahead, let me tell you guys that time, obviously I was still in Nigeria. You didn't used to eat, like, I think what you just used to eat was like bread, pizza, maybe
I used to cook.
Juice.
I used to cook.
Maybe 1 crate of eggs. So I don't know, if you like food, this grocery cost might not work for you. Anyway, continue.
So I actually don't have a figure for the groceries because, like I said, it varies. But I also like to cook and keep in the fridge, and then, so I would say maybe budget like $200-300 per month for groceries was covering me then. So total of everything as a single guy with rent and everything, that's almost $1,000. Yeah, about $850 to $900 for a month as a single guy, and that will cover all your spendings, which is, I think, that's decent. And then before she came also, I moved to like a bigger place. So when I moved into a bigger apartment, in that place I had to pay rent and phone bill, rent, internet, phone bill, and of course transportation was still there, and then food. So for rent in the new, so this was a 1-bedroom apartment, but it was a bigger space too. It was almost like a 2-bedroom apartment. Yeah. If you've seen my regions in Calgary video, that was the one in the northeast. So this one, the rent was about $1,040. Internet was about $50-60. My phone bills was about another $60, and then what else? Groceries, since it was still just me, it was about the same thing as the last time, so about $200 per month. So that was when she came in.
That was the point where, and
then my groceries went to like $500 per month.
See, anyways, yeah. So that's covered that part of his life. Yeah. So when I came in, I think the only thing that changed was of course groceries. Like I said, it wasn't cooking, so I had to make like proper food, and I'm going to come to this later. We were cooking, but anyways, I had to make like proper Nigerian food. I'll come to this later, but it might interest you to know that Nigerian food, African food, is very expensive. Yeah. Very expensive, right?
Yeah.
It's not unaffordable, but it is quite pricey.
For instance, the last tuber of yam we bought, so 2 tubers of yam, how much did you got?
30 something bucks.
Yeah, so that's like $30. If you are converting that, which I advise you don't convert anyway.
If you land,
But
just don't convert.
2 tubers of yam, if you convert that to Nigerian naira with the current rate of about over 400, that's like 12,000 naira for 2 tubers. So not like there are some gigantic.
So you see why
yams.
I used to eat all those things when he was single. But when I came, I had to eat all those things. So if you need to make like a four, if you need to make yam or just Nigerian food, it's quite pricey. So I mean, there are ways that people do it. Some people cargo food from Nigeria. You have to bear in mind the cost of shipping and all of that as well. So it really depends on you. Anyways, apart from everything that he mentioned, when I came to join him at that point, the only thing that changed was just groceries, and it went up to about how much groceries?
I mean, it wasn't significant, but maybe I'll say 300, 350.
Yeah, thereabouts. And then of course my phone bills. So yeah.
And then we moved to a bigger apartment, a 2-bedroom and 2-bathroom apartment, the one in downtown, which you guys have seen. Yeah. So if you've seen our November couple barbecue video, we did it in that building.
This building. So let me explain. So where we are currently is where we're about to talk about. That is the house we live downtown Calgary, and it's also the house that we did the home tour for you guys. So of course, I mean, downtown Calgary might be a bit pricey because the environment is, what's the word now?
It's downtown. That's supposed to say.
So it's downtown
everywhere.
So
is expensive.
Things might be a little bit more pricey than the suburbs.
Yeah. For folks in Nigeria, a way to compare downtown is basically island and mainland. So downtown would be island. You live on the Victoria Island, Lekki, Ikoyi axis, that type of thing, and then uptown or whatever is like mainland for this case. So and a lot of people have been asking, how much do you pay for rent in all those videos? Well, this is that video now. If you are curious about what the rent is to live in a place like this, after watching that house tour that we did, this is it. So our bills basically it's still the same thing,
Rent, food, groceries, phone bills, internet, hydro, power. We're going to let you know how everything comes to play, but we're just breaking down the things that make up our bills.
The whole bill,
So power, have I said hydro?
Yeah.
Hydro. Entertainment, just miscellaneous bills. Car insurance. We have a car now.
We have a car now.
So car insurance, financing of the car is also another thing. So we're going to be telling you the things,
how much it costs us.
How much it costs us for each of these categories. So do you want to go first with rent?
So rent. So the rent is kind of tricky because we got a deal, that gave us a bit off the actual rent. So the original rent for a 2-bed, 2-bath in this apartment was about $2,030. But we got a deal to knock off about $150 from that every month. So we are paying $1,930 per month for rent. Now, because we have a car, we are paying extra for parking. If you live downtown, and you need a parking space, you have to pay extra per month for that. So that's $150 extra. So I just usually bundle that with rent, so which makes our rent $2,080, including parking for a 2-bed, 2-bath apartment in this building. What else? So for the car, of course, so car insurance and monthly payment varies depending on the kind of car you drive and the year and all of those type of things. So for us, we drive a Mercedes A220. It's a 2020 model. Another factor that affects your insurance is how long, like your driving history.
How long you've been driving for in Canada.
So our insurance for the car comes up to about $320 per month, and the finance is about $650 per month to finance a 2020 A220 Mercedes Benz. And for me, I've been driving less than a year in Canada. So ideally, when you've done insurance for a year, like the following year, your insurance should reduce if you've not had any claims. So that's that. And of course, fueling the car, because it's a premium car, the gas is also a bit more expensive. We buy premium gas for the car, which means it has a high octane value, and that costs, to fill the tank, I think it costs about $75.
So the next thing that I'm going to be talking about is the phone and internet bills. And so let me start with the internet. So we pay about $50 per month. We use Telus, and the reason why we pay that low is because we've been with them for over a year, so we're able to get a very good deal. So that's a tip for you. You need to be able to negotiate and let them know that you've been with them for so long, and that this is how much you're willing to pay. So that's how much we're paying. And for the speed that we're using, which is 300 up, 300 down, it's going to be hard to actually get this kind of price. But then again, it depends on your negotiation skills. So for the phone bills, we actually pay about $140. And the reason why that is high is because we actually bought a phone and we're financing the phone. And that cost of financing has been added to the regular cost of the phone. So that's regular phone calls and internet for the phone. So regular phone calls, internet for the phone, and financing all comes up to $140. If you were not financing your phone, if you're just doing regular calls and internet for the phone, it would be around $65, right? So bear in mind that because of the cost of financing of the phone, that's why it's about $140. So that's for that. So fine.
That's 140 is just one.
One person. That's one person.
Then your own is now about $50 per month.
Yes. So 140 is for one person if you are financing, and if you are not financing, it will be about $65.
Yeah.
I hope this is clear. So at this point of the video, if you are still watching us, please hit that subscribe button. What else?
Hit the subscribe button at this point of the video. Like. If you can relate, or if you have any questions, please put in the comment section, as we normally do. We will reply to you. And if it's a question that warrants another video, as we've done before, we of course make another video to answer you, to respond to your question.
Right. So next thing is hydro and power. So for this particular apartment, we have to pay for water, and water. Yes, and hydro costs about $50 per month, and power, that can be quite tricky, and that's because last year we were paying about 60, 70, 80 for electricity. And I feel like it's because we didn't have Demi at that time, and now that we have Demi and we're doing lots of washing, use the washer and dryer, do a lot of whatever we're doing with power. So that has resulted to an increase in the power bill, and that's we do about $80-90 per month for power. So our next bill has to be groceries. So for us, what we do is we do bulk shopping, and that bulk shopping would include us going to African store. You guys remember I said earlier that African food can be quite expensive, so that takes a huge chunk of the money. So if you need to buy like meat, fish, other type of vegetables, I like to put like pomo, shaki, all those kind of things in my soups when I'm Nigerian soups when I'm cooking. If you want to buy egusi, beans, gari, all those things. So all those things we usually buy from the African store, and if we do that and also go to maybe Walmart for the like regular groceries like milk, sugar, flour, bread, things like that. So we do that like once in 2-3 months, and when we do bulk shopping like that, we can spend up to like $800-900 ish, if I'm correct. So and that will last for like 2-3 months, and we're good. And of course there are times when that may not happen, and we need to buy bits and pieces of stuff here and there, and we just need to go to maybe Co-op and see if we're close to the house. And I noticed that we do that like once in 2 weeks, and for that we could spend like $150 or 150, 200 or less.
Maximum.
So that's how it is. It's hard to put a cap on groceries because you can't really tell how it is. But one thing you have to keep in mind is a huge chunk of your money for groceries go to Nigerian food, if you like Nigerian food. So beans, gari, egusi, ogbono, F4. I mean, you can buy spinach at Co-op. I personally do not like their spinach. I'd rather go to the African store and buy like Nigerian F4, Nigerian spinach. So yeah, Nigerian food, it is what it is. If you have to, you can decide to, buy from Nigeria and cargo it. And another thing is meat. So for proteins, meat, fish, turkey or whatever, people do different stuff. Me, I just go to, is it halal or what they call it? Central Halal in Calgary, Northeast Calgary. If you don't know now, you know. So that's where so that's where we buy all our meat, fish. They have everything, and they'll cut it nicely for you, and I just freeze it.
And you also get that in bulk, right? Because you don't have
yes.
to
So exactly.
So like for goats now, you can get like half goat.
Or a quarter of a whole goat, a quarter of lamb. We make lamb sometimes. So that's what we do. But we have friends that they share. They go to the farm and they buy a whole cow, and maybe 3 friends will come together to share a whole cow, put it in the freezer. I've done that before, but I just didn't. I didn't like it. So I'd rather just go to the halal market or store and just buy my stuff and freeze it. So that's for that. The last thing is, I think, entertainment. So that's just miscellaneous stuff. So maybe Netflix should come under that.
So we currently only actually pay for Netflix. So we don't have cable, and so cable bills would be added to usually your home internet bill. That's sort of how it works here. The internet company we bundle cable with it. But after being on a cable package for a year and we didn't watch any cable, we decided not to continue with that. We only pay for Netflix, which is about $16 Canadian a month.
Yeah.
And then entertainment again is no one is really going to the movies now, so everybody we have not been spending money on movies. Then other thing is when we order in or when we go out to eat.
All those kind of things, bits and pieces. They're not like they're expensive, but of course, if it's becoming a regular thing every time you're going, when you accumulate it, you see that it's a huge chunk of your bill.
But I don't think we spend up to $100 on that kind of
in a month
miscellaneous in a month.
No, we don't do a lot of that. Yeah.
We are strictly there's rice at home type of family, so we don't usually.
Yeah, but once in a while, of course, go out to eat and all of that.
Yeah, we should also say that. So this is strictly the prices we laid out is for a family of 3.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's me, my wife, and our little boy living in downtown Calgary. So this is an idea of the cost. If you are single in downtown, definitely it will be that high. Exactly. And also it's also a family that eats Nigerian food. If you don't care about all the central halal meat and all that, you can easily cut off $500 from that, bulk.
You can just buy chicken from Co-op and just white meats and just make, I don't know. And I think we've come to the end of this video. We wanted to put out this video for people that are planning to come to Canada and land in Calgary, or if you're just in Calgary and you're curious to know what it's like to live downtown. This video will be helpful for you as well. So definitely subscribe to our channel, hit the like button if you enjoyed it, drop a comment down below, and we'd also appreciate if you could tell us what videos you'd like to see on this channel. We promise we'll definitely film it for you guys. And thank you for staying with us. We'll see you next time. Bye.